All right, now this last video we're going to watch, this, I should save it for my Satoshi Saturday, but we're going to get into this. This is generational wealth. Bitcoin and Satoshis are generational wealth. And George says Cuban is addicted to ETH. This man is going to tell us why 37 sats is generational wealth. All right. Now, this is, I believe, when Bitcoin is bought at 100-something thousand. So it was a few months ago. But the basics still apply. Take a look.
I want to cook. So I know you mentioned CK, a good friend of mine in Opties. He has this meme that he says 37 sats is generational wealth. And I'm about to break this down for you. So Opties did a good job breaking down 1 Bitcoin, 0.21 Bitcoin. I'm going to try to break down 263,000 sats. So that is if you were to divide the entire Bitcoin network, so 21 million Bitcoin divided by the denomination of sats by 8 billion people. I know the number is about 7.7, but to make numbers easier, let's just say there's 8 billion people in the world. If you were to equally divide the Bitcoin network, and obviously sats have been lost, Satoshi, has about 1 million coins himself, that would be about 263,000 sats per person.
All right, let me give you that update. Updated that. Now, again, this was from a few months ago. Could have been last year sometimes or the year before that. I think it might have been last year. This is the updated one. It's 244,000 sats with about just less than 8.2 billion people. Okay. So again, he's right, and he's going to say a number of $250 or something. Right now, I believe it's $187. I think that's what he's going to say. But let's go back to that.
Globally distributed equally among everyone in the world. Obviously, that's not the case. Some people have more, some people have less. Obviously, we're all trying to keep up with Saylor and Satoshi. But 263,000 sats is the equivalent of 160 US cuck bucks.
Yeah, so right now it's actually $187 right now as of now. So it's a little less. So the price actually might have been lower then. I don't know.
$60 in US currency will currently get you 263,000 sats. But breaking down the meme further, so obviously CK has the meme 37 sats is generational wealth. He took that number because when he got into Bitcoin, it was 2016. In 100 years, from instead of 2016 to 2116, so 100 years forward, the block reward for Bitcoin will be 37 sats.
Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Now, again, are we going to be alive in 100 years? No. But in 2016, which is 2116, which is 90 years from now, that's what it is. Let me zoom in. 0.00000037, aka 37 sats at that time, which is epoch number 27, and that's right here. Epoch number 27. Oh, excuse me, 28. It's 37 sats, ladies and gentlemen. Now, somebody was asking me, I think it was Kevin from 21 Sat Streets. He was asking me or making a statement that people should try to, in their cold storage, they said you should try to get a block subsidy in your cold storage, right? Well, which block subsidy are you talking about, right? Are you talking about today's block subsidy of 3.125? You talking about 6.25? You talking about 12.5? You talking about 25? You talking about 50? Or are you talking about 37? Which means it's all going to be the same purchasing power. In order for you guys to get 37 sats in 100 years or 90 years from now, you have to be the same purchasing power that it is today for 3.125 Satoshis, for 3.125 Bitcoin. But he said he wanted to cook, so let him keep cooking.
So that means that the global Bitcoin network will be competing every block to get a subsidy of 37 sats along with obviously transaction fees. But the subsidy itself will be 37 sats. So they're competing globally for 37 sats. And you don't know what basically the transaction fees will be at that time. We're assuming much higher than they are currently today, but the subsidy itself will be 37 sats. So when you think about it, there is 52,000 blocks per year if there's 210,000 blocks per 4 years.
Well, I hate to be the actually, guys. It's not actually 52,000. It's actually 52,500. Because again, in every block or in every epoch, there's 210,000 blocks. half of 210 is 105, and half of 105 is 52,500. I don't want to be the actually guy here, but just to, he's doing a great job, but it's actually 52,500.
Epoch or thereabout. So that's assuming that there's 52,000 blocks per year. If you had 1% of the global hash rate, which would be a lot of the global hash rate at the time, that means that you're expecting to win 525 blocks per year. And that is to cover the operations of all your mining, your electricity, paying out your staff, and everything. That means that if you were to multiply the 37 sats just from the subsidy, that's the only thing that you can guarantee because you don't know what the transaction fees are going to be, times 525 blocks for the year for the 1% of the hash rate. That means that your total revenue, with just subsidy alone, would be 19,425 sats. So think about that. You can get 10 times what the subsidy will be today if you had 1% of the hash rate for 160 bucks. Like, think about that. That blows your mind. You can have 10 times more revenue than can be guaranteed by having 1% of the global hash rate in 100 years from now. Like, that's really hard to fathom when you think if we think the Bitcoin network's going to grow and continue to expand. Obviously, we're expecting we know the exact block that the 28th epoch, or when 37 sats will be, is block 5,670,000. If you're assuming, we know by code, 210,000 blocks is every epoch. And so obviously we start at 50, 25, 12.25, 12.5, 6.25, and now we're in the epoch of 3.125 Bitcoin. So that's just to say, like, obviously CK was saying 37 sats is generational wealth because 1% of the global network will be competing to try, the global Bitcoin network will be competing for 37 sats for the epoch 28 at block 5,670,000. So just to put that in perspective, if $160 will get you a huge chunk of Bitcoin. So I know that's to not stack shame anyone. Hopefully everyone can, save enough $160 to stack what would be the equivalent if you were to equally divide out Bitcoin. That's 263,000 sats a day. Obviously, we aspire to get 1 million sats. 10 million sats, 21 million sats, a whole Bitcoin if you can make it. But I hope that my great grandchildren or great grandkids will be like, what are US dollars, or what's dollars? Just like we make fun of the Zimbabwe dollar, the $100 trillion note that I have here framed away to remember fiat is shit, Bitcoin is what you want. You want the hardest money in the world. And I'll leave it at that.
Wow. That's all I got to say, Anthony. I mean, you see something like that. 37 sats is a block subsidy. Let me go back to that. You see something like that, and you hear a man saying that, and you're buying whatever you're buying right now, and 37 sats is, you give away 100 sats per pull out. What do you think about that, man?
Real quick. Got 37 sats, payment received, says we rich. And I'm pretty sure I know who this is from. Jenny Legendary.
Also, Jenny Legendary sent in on my phone, and I'm keeping it. I'm not giving it to you guys. Jenny from the future gave me 7 sats. And that's all for me. I'm not sharing shit. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jenny.
So check it out. I have a love-hate for videos like this, personally. I see the technical side of it. The very technical side that a very, 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 very small percentage of people are going to actually understand at this point in time. I'm going to tell you why I don't like this video. I don't like this video because I don't like the 0.1, 0.21 talking points of you only need this and you can retire in here and this and that. No, you buy your ass off, okay? You be greedy, hungry hippos with that shit. You put a full paycheck in there. You sell your stuff, sell your cars, go tell your kids to start a lemonade stand, get another job, whatever. You need to be greedy. And I know we don't talk about being greedy as a good thing, but in this, absolutely, you buy your ass off. Okay, so you need to get as much as you can while you can. This is the first time in history we can front run the institutions, governments, nation states, the world. So don't settle for it's just enough. Okay, that's a big one for me. I don't like when people say like, oh, this is all you need and this is generational wealth, this and that. Don't set that bar low. Okay. Now, from a technical standpoint, I get it. Absolutely. I see the 100 years down the road and this and that, but where we're living now. Okay, and now if that's the case and it's 37 sats, then that just means the conviction needs to be that much harder, because we need beyond generational wealth. We want to buy countries, boys. We want to buy countries. And to do that, we got to stack hard now. So I get the whole Epoch thing. And you guys know me. I've said this openly. I'm not one of these like Epoch guys where I'm looking 100, 200, 300 years down the road and this and that. I just don't do it. I just need to buy everything I can in the life I'm living now, because that's what I can control, as much as I can. And then hopefully when my kids get older, they're going to be stacking just as well. Obviously, we're stacking for them. We're all stacking together. But technical standpoint, get it. I don't ever like putting ceilings or limitations, and this is all you need. You know, I don't like, I really, really dislike those talking points, but it's fantastic. And I think that most people in this chat, us for sure, we are absolutely buying our ass off. I'll leave it at that.
You're muted, Trent.
Okay, so I hate these videos too. The math is skewed because everybody doesn't get equal Bitcoin. I don't know if you know this. I've already screwed hundreds of thousands of people out of their 0.01 Bitcoin myself. Saylor has screwed millions out of their 0.01 Bitcoin. So this 37 sats, it's just nonsense math.
I agree, bro.
I can't handle it.
I can't even.
Well, I'm gonna take a different approach. You guys are right, technically, and you know, to each their own, right? People see things different. The way I see that video, because he did leave a disclaimer, and I don't think he was saying like, one, he wasn't saying, you know, you only need this amount, don't get any more. He actually was saying, you know, buy more, but he also was saying too, he didn't say it's going to be divided evenly, because I say that too. Like, we know it's not going to be divided evenly, obviously, right? Which means that even less is going to get you more purchasing power. Meaning not saying get less, but your satoshis today are going to be so more powerful in the future. Now, again, you got to look at, depending on how old you are, where you're at in your life, who the sat's going to be for. Are they going to be for you? You know, because we may only spend 1 or 2% of our sats. Let's say we want to spend some and put the rest in cold storage or whatever, right? Depending on your age, your health, you know, how long you're going to be here, if you're going to have children, who you're going to pass them to, stuff like that. I absolutely love that kind of stuff. Simply put, I don't like the 0.1 Bitcoin and only get this. I agree with you, Backpacker. I don't like that stuff either. But what I will say is I love the fact that you're showing the scarcity of satoshis, the scarcity and how many units there are in a Bitcoin, 100 million, like you talked about in your video yesterday, Backpacker. I love stuff like that from that angle, because again, I have a series called Satoshi Saturdays. Nobody's going to talk about Bitcoin in 10 or 15 years. It's going to be all about the satoshis. And I love videos like that, because not only does it show the scarcity of it, but also shows you the finality of it. Meaning 37 sats today is only a few cents. So you can get that plus a whole bunch more. So it lets you know, of course, we're not going to be alive in 100 years. My great-grandson probably won't be alive in 100 years, maybe. But again, the end of the day, the moral of the story is we got to understand how rare and scarce our satoshis are, and to make sure that not only we're stacking for ourselves, but for our generations to come.